Hey guys, just taking a break from painting the house here because I'm sure you've heard by now, but if you haven't, J.J. Abrams has officially been announced to come back and direct Episode 9. And what they've also announced is what I was suggesting in the previous video I made, which is that they should delay it until December of 2019. Kathleen Kennedy said in a statement, "With The Force Awakens, J.J. delivered everything we could have possibly hoped for, and I am so excited he is coming back to close out the trilogy." And not only that, he's going to be bringing in a co-writer to help finish up the script, which is going to be Chris Terrio. Which, okay, yes, you could say he was responsible for some of the scripting of Batman vs. Superman. However, on that script there was like 4 writers, and the main one was David S. Goyer, actually. I don't know how much he contributed to that script, but he did win an Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay for Argo. So, yes, okay, Batman v Superman, whatever. Guy won Best Screenplay for Argo. Argo's a great movie. So, the scripting is actually a really key thing. Before we get into directing, let's just talk about the screenplay, because this movie's supposed to, at least for now, it still is going to camera in January. Colin Trevorrow was writing the script with his writing partner, Garrett Connolly. They left, but before they left, they had already brought in Jack Thorne to rewrite the script because, Lucasfilm was not entirely satisfied with the job they had done. And now Chris Terrio and J.J. Abrams are going to be taking over the screenplay. So that's cool. I think there's enough time, because see, the thing is, the screenplay is already in like a stage of some sort of completion. I mean, they've had drafts. The story is not going to change so much. That's the big complaint that people are going to be having about J.J. Abrams coming back is, oh, Force Awakens, they played it safe, and so forth. Yeah, they did play it safe. I think that was important to setting up the trilogy. It's okay to play it safe. In the first one, you have to reintroduce the audience to Star Wars. And I think the thing is, though, Kathleen Kennedy is the one in charge. I don't know how much you can blame J.J. Abrams for the storyline of Force Awakens. That's a Lucasfilm decision. That's not necessarily a J.J. Abrams decision, although he was into that. He played ball, and that's why they're going back to him, because they know that he's already attached to Episode 8 as an executive producer. He knows, he's read the script to Episode 8. And when he said he read Rian Johnson's script to Episode 8, he said he was jealous. He wished he was directing a script as that good. So I think he's open to like, oh, that's kind of different. This is really more interesting than I thought it was going to be. So I think he's open to the direction that Rian Johnson is taking things. I don't think he's going to just all of a sudden he's coming back and veto power everything, being, nope, not doing that, we're going back to the way I wanted to do things. I don't think it's going to be like that. Rian Johnson, apparently, according to Deadline, Rian Johnson was asked to come back, but he's just, I imagine the guy's exhausted, right? Working on this thing for how many years now, and for them to be like, all right, comes out in December, good luck, you're going straight back into it in January. I'm guessing that's the reason he turned it down. He had his chance to make a film, he's really happy with it, but he probably wants to take a break and move on to something else. I mean, if you look at his films are all very different, so he probably doesn't want to do the same thing again. But I'm really glad that Rian Johnson did Episode 8 to sort of create the trajectory that Episode 9 is now going to go on. I think if you let J.J. Abrams just do 7, 8, and 9, the storyline would be less interesting. It's nice to have that sort of diversity of creativity there, that Rian Johnson set things up, and now just J.J. Abrams has to just finish it off. Tossing the creative ball back and forth, and, he tossed it to Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson took it and ran with it. Now he tossed it back to him, and it's kind of like, oh crap, well, this is even more interesting than I thought it would end up. And so I think he can do it. I think he's capable as a director. I really do like his style. I think Rian Johnson would be a better fit for Episode 9, but he doesn't want to do it. I mean, what are you going to do? The guy, he's burnt out. He probably has other things in mind. He wants to move on. And so really, J.J. Abrams or Colin Trevorrow, I'm sorry, I'll take J.J. Abrams any day of the week over Colin Trevorrow. I don't think Colin Trevorrow is a terrible director, I just don't think he's right for a Star Wars film, at least not the episodic saga. And J.J. knows the actors. He knows Daisy Ridley. He knows, John Boyega. He knows Mark Hamill, if Mark Hamill's going to be back for Episode 9, who knows. We'll have to see what happens there. And he knows Adam Driver and stuff like that. He's worked with these guys. They have a good relationship. Jack Thorne is a good writer, from what I can tell. And so I think he kind of got it back on track. He's only was recently added, only in August, so he probably did like one draft and just sort of cleaned it up. Now J.J. Abrams can come in there, sort of anything in the storyline that he thinks doesn't work, he can sort of nix that and sort of mold it a little bit more to his sensibilities. And Chris Terrio can just knock it out of the park. Good, good dialogue, good characterization. He can also act as sort of like a sounding board against J.J. Abrams if J.J. Abrams has you know, some goofy ideas or whatever. But like I said, I think this is not the ideal situation. You know, as much as great as it would have been to have Rian Johnson in the driver's seat, I think this is realistically like sort of second best, so I'll take it. So hopefully it'll turn out well. I have a good feeling about this. It is late in the game to be bringing on a director, but it's not so late. It's September. That leaves you with September, October, November, December, and the film is being delayed until December of 2019 instead of May. Fantastic choice. I hope they also push back the filming. I suggested pushing the filming back until May so that you could have it released in December, even if they push the filming back like 1 month, start in February instead of January. I think that will, just having a little bit of extra time would give them more time to work out the design work and more time on the scripting. You know, come back, take the Christmas break, and then come back, you know, with a fresh mind and a fresh pair of eyes and be like, okay, last draft, let's just rework this a little bit. But if they don't do that, if they just go straight into filming in January, I think it'll work out anyway. And I think J.J. Abrams is going to do a fantastic job, as opposed to just sort of rolling the dice with Colin Trevorrow, and things were not working out as it was. The script wasn't coming along the way they wanted. Seems like disaster has been averted. So, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Leave us your thoughts on what you think of this news. You think it's good? You think it's bad? I know some fans are going to have problems with J.J. Abrams coming back. It would have been nice to have a new director for each entry, but just the way things worked out, I guess that's not possible. So, I don't know. Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? So leave your comments, and we'll see you guys next time.